This is CNN.
In the headlines on World News, retailers are hoping this holiday shopping season is better than years past. Encouraged by an improving economy, shoppers poured into the stores today, and many have more money to spend. The Commerce Department is reporting that personal income increased 1% last month. That's the biggest jump in 10 months. Consumers also spent more in October. Retailers expect their biggest holiday sales to come in the final 10 days before Christmas. President-elect Bill Clinton called on an elder statesman for advice today. He met in California with former President Ronald Reagan in what was described as a warm and friendly visit. Clinton said they talked about the transition and personal aspects of the presidency. They also discussed something they have in common, support for the line item veto. Before parting, by the way, Reagan gave Clinton a jar of his favorite snack, jelly beans. Relief agency workers in Los Angeles are packing up $250,000 in donated medical supplies for Somalia. Operation USA says the hunger there is worse than the famine in Ethiopia and the Sudan in 1985. The supplies will ship out within 10 days. Hopefully, it will reach its destination. Repeated thefts of relief supplies for Somalia apparently convinced the U.S. to offer military protection. 1,800 Marines currently in the Indian Ocean could be called on for duty in Somalia. The U.S. is still consulting with the United Nations on how to contribute.
Right now, the U.S. says as little as 20% of donated food reaches starving Somalians. 300,000 people have already died, and the toll grows by the hundreds every day. The Somalian tragedy has been caught on film by top photographers. Their work is on display at the United Nations, and it is our focal point tonight.
More than 100,000 citizens, including an alarming number of Somalia children, have succumbed to starvation since the conflict began. At least 1 million others are in peril. 1 million.
They're very graphic. They show a lot what's going on, how they could treat them like that, how they could be like that and not have any food and stuff.
I look at photographs like this and I see the factor of war in here, these ruinous wars. These people are starving. Why must we still have war?
It humanizes it. It's not merely facts anymore. You see the look on their faces. You see the eyes.
They're sad.
How come?
Because they're starving from food.
Look at these pictures. You see hundreds upon hundreds of U.S. grain sacks piled up. And then the picture next to it, you see a starving child. You can't understand that.
They have to bury those bodies. Look at see the infant there? See those little ones are children, the little bags.
They make your heart cry out when you see these children.
It makes it seem more realistic, like it is really happening, which the news has been telling. So I think that a little more could be done and should be done.
I really would like to help more.
People starving, of people dying, of children dying, of a lot of suffering, suffering, a lot of suffering. There's a lot of help needed.
Focal Point is brought to you by Sprint, not just another phone company.
Over here. I notice you're checking prices on those little TVs. You wouldn't have to if you had Sprint's remarkably easy calling program, The Most.
Oh, yeah?
See, The Most saves you big on whoever you call the most each month. 36% when that person has Sprint. And you don't have to sign anyone up. It's easy. You might even save enough for one of those big screen jobs.
Thanks.
They're on aisle 6.
Oh.
I have to admit, I'm a little surprised.
About what?
I just never thought I'd see on anything but a BMW or a Lexus.
Me neither.
Airbag? Leather? This is quality. Expensive?
About 10, 15,000 less than the BMW or Lexus. I think it feels just as good.
What? Oh, there's Pontiac Bonneville. It's amazing.
CNN and CNN Headline News, two different networks for news. On CNN, you get live, in-depth reports of breaking news, while Headline News gives you a concise overview of the day's major events. On CNN, you also get programs like Larry King Live and Sports Tonight, while Headline News updates business, sports, and entertainment news every 30 minutes. 2 different channels, 2 sources for news, CNN and CNN Headline News.
A gasoline truck plowed through a freeway guardrail in Milwaukee today, plunged 40 feet into a parking lot, and burst into flames. The driver was killed. Tires on cars in the lot exploded from the heat. Gasoline spilled into the city's sewer system and caused 2 explosions. Authorities believe the driver may have been going too fast and lost control on a curve.
You know, lots of people are now trying those nicotine patches to try and help them quit smoking. Well, one day, drinkers may use an alcohol patch so they know when to quit. CNN's Jeff Flock explains how the new device works.
One of these 2 men is getting drunk. If you want to know which one, you can give them a breathalyzer. That's a 0 blood alcohol level for Wes. Nearly a 0.1 for Tim. But if you look closely, there is another way to check their sobriety. The patch on Wes's forehead is white, Tim's green. In this case, green means stop.
Very dark green is equivalent to a blood alcohol level of DUI, like a 0.1. And that would tell the person yay or nay, you know, yes, I should do this, or no, I shouldn't.
University of Chicago researcher Jim Zachney helped develop the patch, which measures the alcohol vapor given off through the skin. After more testing, he envisions the day when the Band-Aid-like patches will be available in bars or liquor stores to tell drinkers whether or not, for example, it's safe to drive.
Sounds like a good idea. I'd probably use it.
Probably not, because I never drink too much.
But some alcohol abuse treatment experts question the wisdom of trying to guess sobriety.
Safest advice is if you're drinking, don't drive at all. Find somebody to drive you. And any effort to kind of hedge on that would be asking for trouble.
Developed at the University of Chicago to monitor drug levels in premature babies without drawing blood, other possible uses for the patch are diabetics who need to monitor glucose levels, cancer patients who need to know blood chemical levels and chemotherapy, and women with hormonal problems undergoing estrogen therapy. But perhaps the most intriguing use is for drinkers. Tim Bialek, one of the patch guinea pigs, is also a Chicago police officer.
I think it would be very good. I think a lot of people would like and would choose to obey the law, but some people probably don't know their limits.
With a patch, people's limits might become as clear as green and white. I'm Jeff Flock, CNN, in Chicago.
An increasing number of pregnant teens are having their babies instead of having abortions. That according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. In 1989, among teenage girls 15 and younger, about 900 had abortions for every 1,000 who opted to have their babies. That is the lowest rate for that age group since the agency began counting abortions. The abortion rate for women over 35 also is on the downswing. Italian researchers apparently have found a way to help couples have healthy children when the father has the AIDS virus. The findings in the British medical journal Lancet show a so-called washing process makes the semen safe. The most mobile sperm are then used to inseminate the woman. So far, 10 healthy babies have been born using the procedure.
More than 150 years ago, Cherokee Indians forced from their homes began a long and deadly resettlement march. Today, some of their ancestors are making the same walk voluntarily. CNN's Sean Calebs reports on remembering and retracing the Trail of Tears.
The Native group say they are demonstrating to mark a dark chapter in American history, the Trail of Tears. But many here believe few people today know the story. In 1838, Georgia uprooted thousands of Cherokees from the northern part of the state and forced them to walk 1,000 miles in the dead of winter to present-day Oklahoma.
Our people weren't savages. We had our own universities. We had our own language. We had our own government.
Their ancestors also had land in northern Georgia, fertile farmland, and land that had gold. Despite federal treaties, the Native Americans were driven from their homes. The march was called the Trail of Tears because 1/3 of the 17,000 Cherokees forced to make the trip died during the trek. To commemorate the journey, some 24 people say they will retrace the Cherokee Indians' 1,000-mile walk.
To try to experience the suffering and the hardships that our ancestors went through.
Immediate goal for us is a sense of pride for our people.
Native groups say marches like this make an impact.
A lot of Americans are much more aware of Native people's struggles than they were 20 years ago.
Even government leaders are beginning to acknowledge errors of the past.
And today I have the privilege of being part of reversing this miscarriage of justice.
Georgia's governor pardoned 2 white missionaries who were jailed in 1831 for fighting government seizure of the Cherokee land. Native Americans praised the governor's action, but
it stopped short of really condemning, the removal of the Cherokees from this homeland.
So the 24 or so people will walk halfway across the country, in part to honor their ancestors and in part to educate people along the way.
The rumors that were spread then are basically the same kind of rumors that are spread today about Indian people. That's why it's real important for us to do this walk and educate America on who we are and what we are.
The group says it has warm clothing and good walking shoes. They hope this trip will take a big step toward reminding people about the suffering of the past. Sean Caleb, CNN, reporting.
Coming up on World News, how Louisiana is dealing with what is believed to be the largest fish kill in North American history. And looking to Russia for love with the help of a matchmaker.
America's at work with Packard Bell. America's at work with Packard
Bell. Tonight on Sports Tonight, NBA action featuring Shaquille O'Neal. No rookie in decades has made this kind of impact so early. Also, Nebraska tries to cement a spot in the Orange Bowl, plus the finals of NIT basketball. See you at 11 tonight.
If you could see inside your suitcase when you travel, you'd see how Samsonite Hardside protects what's inside. Because Samsonite has a crush-resistant outer shell and a durable hardside construction that's designed to hold up over the long haul.
Daddy, did you bring me anything?
Samsonite Hardside. After all, you've got your life in there.
Born to run, and run, and run. The most serious 4x4 in the world. Hummer. Available now at a dealer near you. The most serious 4x4 in the world? Get real. Hummer. The legend grows.
Irish rejection of a referendum to ease the country's constitutional ban on abortion is spelling political trouble for Prime Minister Albert Reynolds. By more than a 2-to-1 margin, voters said Ireland should not allow abortion even when a mother's life is at risk. It was not the response that Reynolds had hoped for. Worse, it was his Fianna Fáil party's worst showing in a general election in more than 50 years. Voters, though, approved amendments allowing Irish women to travel abroad for abortion and legalizing abortion information. A historic wing of Vienna's 18th century Hofburg Palace has gone up in smoke. A bystander said it was like a piece of her heart was burning. It took more than 350 firefighters to control the blaze, which caused $90 million in damage. A spokesman says most of it is cultural rather than material. By the way, Vienna's famous Lippenzaner stallions housed across the street were evacuated, although they were never directly threatened. Officials say it will take days to determine the cause of the fire.
Here in the U.S., Hurricane Andrew devastated the fish population in parts of Louisiana. Now, some fishermen are working with the state to replenish the fish stocks. Paul Gates reports.
What is believed to be the largest fish kill in North American history was recorded right after Hurricane Andrew blasted through Louisiana last August. The storm winds stirred up the bayous and lakes, depleting oxygen, killing the fish. Tens of millions of fish were killed, among them an estimated 5 million black bass in the Atchafalaya Basin alone. But now the people who love to fish for the black bass are coming to the rescue. Ernest Gammon of Baton Rouge has been in hot pursuit of the trophy bass for 20 years. He and fellow fisherman Sid Sanders had an idea. If breeding-sized bass from other areas were transferred to the basin, it could help replace the lost fish during the spring spawning season.
The sheer numbers involved, if we get as many fish released into the spillway as we hope to get, and if we see the survival rate, which we are told that we can anticipate, we should see the equivalent of several million fingerlings released into the spillway by placing these few thousand broodstock fish.
Fishermen who want to help donate their breeding-sized bass catch at one of 3 locations where they are picked up by a wildlife and fisheries biologist on a weekly basis. The fisheries experts tag and release the black bass in the basin. The fish aren't released simply at random. The spots where they are turned loose are carefully chosen. The fish are placed in the areas that were hardest hit and in the areas where they will have the best chance of surviving to lay or fertilize eggs. Wildlife and Fisheries has gratefully offered full cooperation in the program started by Gammon and Sanders. It's a program that can and will make a big difference in the bass population in the basin.
Very much so. You know, this is the place that they love to fish. It's probably one of the finest places in the United States to fish, and they've really banded together strongly on this idea.
Gammon believes that ultimately the Louisiana bass fishermen can help Mother Nature do in a couple of years what it would normally take 5 to 6 years to accomplish.
The restocking program is called Citizens Program to Restock the Spillway, or CPR for short.
Some wannabe record holders, they sit on flagpoles, others cram themselves into phone booths and all that kind of thing. However, a 16-year-old boy in Bangladesh, look at this guy, he's using his head literally to try to get his name in the Guinness Book of World Records. He bounced a soccer ball on his head for a record 20 hours and 10 minutes. Having a ball perched on his head apparently did not interfere with the daily activities that we saw, like eating and studying and riding a bicycle and etc. Probably didn't look way up there to see how the weather was going to be, though.
I think so. They should have checked it for some Velcro, perhaps. Maybe
so.
Maybe not. I don't know. Time to check now on our weather to see if things are getting any better around there.
Check in with Karen McGinnis, who has been looking up there to see what it's all going to be happening or how it's going to be happening. Here she is with the latest, and her computers as well. Karen?
Yeah, Patrick and Natalie. As a matter of fact, it's turning out to be a pretty good couple of days. We've got a few trouble spots. We always do. Before this weekend, if you're headed out to do some of that Christmas shopping, it looks like it's going to be fairly nice. Might be a little on the cold side, but these are representative temperatures. Look, 30s and 40s dominate much of the nation's midsection and the eastern seaboard, with those 50s being squeezed across the mid-Atlantic through the Carolinas and down across the Florida Panhandle. There is a freeze warning in effect tonight for the interior sections of the Florida Panhandle, so you might want to watch that if you've got any tender plants there. 45 for Atlanta, Chicago, 39 degrees. In Los Angeles, look for an afternoon reading there of 72. There was a mild Santa Ana today, so those temperatures were quite warm. We also saw some fairly cold temperatures in Columbus, and they're picking up some snow showers. We'll show you that on the loop coming up in just a second. Spokane, 33 on the way, and 48 for Denver. But in Chicago, see if you can see what they haven't seen in a long time. Do you see it? It's right there. It's right in front of your eyes. It's the sun. They haven't seen the sun in Chicago in about 30 days. The last time that they saw full sunshine was on October 28th, and today, the whole day it was sunny, and guess what? Tomorrow is going to be the same. It lessens just a little bit on Sunday as a little clipper-type storm moves through. I want to show you something a little bit interesting. Take a look at what happens as we back the satellite loop back up again. But as we were going to show you a little clipper-type system that was moving across the Ohio Valley, and that's produces snow showers in Louisville, Kentucky, Indianapolis, Columbus, Ohio. Saturday morning looks like this, still a backlash of moisture across sections of the coastal regions of the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast, and you'll see some showers down in Florida. Much of the rest of the nation okay. Then as we head on into Saturday afternoon, there's one little clipper that will reinforce the cold air, the snow for the Bitter Roots and Bighorns, and then by Sunday morning, still much of the nation's midsection looks pretty good by the latter part of the weekend. Some snow for the eastern Great Lakes. So we'll have the CNN ski report for you coming up right after this.
I am am absolutely not in control of my money whatsoever. I'm pretty good with her money.
Now that I think about it, I'm not in that much control.
I let my wife run my finances.
I'd consider myself fortunate if I was in control maybe 1 or 2 days a week.
Only way I'd be able to control my finances is to stop spending money.
I would love to have a little green man come into my room at night,
A financial advisor.
a rich relative, and tell me where to invest, where to spend, where to save.
If you want to start getting control of your finances, start by getting Money Magazine. Money shows you how to build your savings, invest wisely, spend smartly, and it's yours risk-free.
Risk-free. Risk-free, yes. Risk-free.
One risk-free issue would be perfect, just to sample it.
I like the sound of that a lot.
Call now. Get your first issue risk-free. You'll see that Money Magazine is the smart, easy way to get control of your finances.
There's got to be something in every issue of money that's worth more than what you pay for it.
I invested a bit of my savings into a mutual fund recommended by Money Magazine.
They give you good, sound advice.
And because of that, I've made a bundle.
I followed the advice and I made some money.
And if you call now, we'll also send Money's exclusive financial guides, a 3-part series that will help you manage your money, build a future, and achieve your dreams. Now they're yours, free.
Free. Love that word, free.
Free. Free guides are a great idea.
They show you how to save your money.
All 3 of the guys would be great to hold on to.
They show you how to keep it free and save it for retirement.
Perfect.
Call this number now. Get a risk-free issue of Money and the guides free.
Give it to me now. Absolutely.
If you like your risk-free issue of Money, do nothing. You'll get 12 more informative issues, 13 in all, for just 4 easy installments of only $8.99.
A no-lose proposition.
Or cancel and keep your first issue plus the guides free.
I have saved quite a bit of money because of Money Magazine's recommendation.
Money Magazine has helped me manage my money.
Money puts you in control. Call now. Examine your first issue of Money Magazine risk-free. Plus get Money's financial guides free.
Try Money Magazine for free. I mean, it's at no risk.
You can't lose.
Well, the tropics haven't fared so well, at least for the Caribbean. Some thunderstorms still in the forecast coming up for tomorrow. And there was a flash flood warning earlier issued for St. John and St. Thomas. They've seen some heavy rain. We've got some gusty winds along the summits of Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa in Hawaii. And look for rain in Juneau and 43 degrees. That's a little bit above normal for this time of year, believe it or not. How about some powder? We've got some for you. Hope you have a terrific weekend, even if you are shopping. Natalie?
Royal babies usually cause a joyous fuss, but the birth today of a boy to Monaco's Princess Stephanie has received only a royal snub. Prince Rainier was not in town to greet his new grandson, and the palace made no official pronouncement, presumably because the baby's father is Stephanie's live-in boyfriend, a former bodyguard of the royal family. Mother and baby are reported fine.
Now that the Cold War is over, can East and West find true love? Well, perhaps, thanks in part to new video services that are trying to play Cupid between Russian women and American men. CNN's Norma Quarles has more.
This year, Anatoly Gilvasser began a new business.
I like to cook, I like to take care of the house. I like animals, especially cats.
21-year-old Lena is one of thousands of Russian women involved with video matchmaking services, on the increase since the breakup of the Soviet Union.
Anywhere the life is better than in Russia, especially even now when you can talk about anything you would like, but the hardship is so intense.
Gilvasser charges $5 for a catalog, $25 for a videotape, and $450 for an introduction. Another firm, Scana International, a pioneer in the matchmaking business, says it has 5,000 American men looking for brides and 20,000 Russian women looking for husbands.
Marriage is the safest and the surest way to get into the United States. And I dare to say that many of them are planning to get married and after that to divorce and to invite the rest of their family. That's just a sort of a trick
They're not just the green card seekers. We want women who are sincerely want to meet somebody and fall in love if it happens, and to find a decent man that they would like to marry.
Gary Fowler saw Inga's picture in a magazine, went to Moscow for a date, and got engaged the next day.
I'm so happy that I can't even describe it, and it's nice to have someone that loves you as much as you love them and cares about you and puts you first as you put them first. I'd recommend it.
Not many Russian girls write letters there and something because they maybe don't believe it's work. I believe.
While the Fowlers are happily married, not every romance ends as well. In the last year, about 100 Russian women have come to New York hoping to marry, and at least one woman is now in a homeless shelter.
They come here with this temporary status of a tourist, and that can't continue. If the marriage is not finalized here.
Rusinov says matchmaking is a risky business, especially when marrying different cultures, and the dreams of a lot of Russian women, unfortunately, may be shattered. Norma Quarles, CNN, New York.
We wish them lots of luck.
Absolutely.
That is it for this edition of World News. Thanks for joining us. I'm Natalie Allen at CNN Center in Atlanta.
Thank you. I'm Patrick Greenlaw. Sports Tonight is up next, and Nick Charles, as you can see, joins us right now. Early in the hoop season for the college basketball ranks, but there are a lot of good games going on.
It really heated up tonight. A real chiller in the NIT preseason finals. We'll have Indiana, Seton Hall, hot night in the NBA, college football happening early and late. We've got it all for you in sports, so stay tuned. Vince Cellini and I will be along next.
Sports Tonight is next, here on CNN. For an update on the day's top stories, you can turn to Headline News. Check local listings for channel number.
Listen, for a safe and sparkling holiday, enjoy Martinelli's non-alcoholic sparkling cider, bubbly enough for any celebration. Martinelli's Gold Medal Sparkling Cider, delightful.